Hey y'all, this is Corinne with Planting 101 Healthy Air at Home. So today I wanted to talk about vocabulary. I'm assuming everyone knows plant vocabulary, and that is totally my fault. So today's video is dedicated to vocabulario. Okay, really quickly, what do all plants provide us? They all clean the air. They all provide us with oxygen. They all help to build a positive, harmonious environment. Okay, that's what they all do. All right. So whether you like succulents, like cacti, like my kids love succulents, or you love peace lilies or pothos plants or snake plants. It doesn't matter. Okay, they all are here to help. All right. So now that you know that, just pick a plant and bring her home. All right. All right. Now, the second thing, all plants communicate. All right. You just need to find out and learn how your plant communicates to you. If you want an extremely expressive plant that communicates a lot, you want to get the peace lily. The peace lily is extremely expressive. All the leaves go when it needs something. And when it's happy, all the leaves go all the way up. So if you want a plant that's going to tell you exactly when it's happy and what it needs, the peace lily is your plant. All right. So let's go over what annuals versus perennials. Now, the myth is that annuals only last about a year, which is true. Okay. And some food crops, if you're growing some crops like we're going to be doing here, they can last 3-6 months, but perennial plants, annuals can last more than a year if you take care of them. For example, the Boston fern right behind me over here is an annual, right? And I was so scared of annuals, but if you take care of your ferns, they can last 2, 3, 4 years. All right. So don't be afraid of annuals, especially the Boston fern. That is our natural humidifier on the planet. All right. Next, perennials. So perennials, of course, come back year after year. And to me, they're the best bang for your buck. Snake plants, of course, pothos plants, spider plants. Okay. All of our ZZ plants are perennials. All right. Next thing, moisture control versus succulents. Moisture control means usually moisture control plants like the moisture, but of course you want to keep a balance. You don't want to cause any root rot, okay? So for example, pothos plants that really like water, peace lilies that tend to like water want moisture control soil versus succulents like the snake plant. You do not, or aloe vera, you do not want to use moisture control soil. And really the difference is succulent soil uses a mixture of sand, okay, and other drying agents, okay, in the soil, in the topsoil. All right. Now, low light versus high light. Low light plants can be in a room with no window at all, as long as you rotate them once a week. Give them their daily dose, their weekly dose of sun once or twice a week, or they can be up to 12 feet away from a sun source. Okay, the low light plants. High light plants want to be right up in the window, okay? So they can be 0 to 3 feet, no more than 6 feet from a sun source. Okay, most of my plants are all low light plants, just heads up. To me, they're easier to maintain and they're less fickle. Okay. All right, last one, clay versus plastic. All right, now, ideally, if you can afford it, if you could do it, get a clay pot or a porous pot because they are very forgiving. They are extremely forgiving. Okay, clay pots are much more forgiving of over and under watering, and they help your plants much more than plastic, which just lets the water just sit there. If you do get a plastic pot, please make sure you drill holes at the bottom and you put a catcher at the bottom, because once again, the number one cause of all plants is overwatering and root rot, and we do not want our plant roots to sit in soil, because that is the #1 cause of death, okay, and illness and infection and disease. Okay, so really quickly, all plants help us, okay? So you see a plant that you like, get it. Learn to take care of it, okay? Okay, absolutely. All plants communicate. Annuals can last more than a year, all right? That's the myth. Perennials, of course, always last more than a year if you take care of them. All right. Moisture control tends to be plants that like moisture. Okay. Like the viney plants. Okay. Versus succulents that like drier soil. Okay. Low light versus high light. Low light, no window or up to 12 feet from a sun source. High light, up to 3 feet to 6 feet from a sun source. And clay is a porous pot that is much more forgiving for those that like to over or underwater if we forget, versus plastic. If you do have a plastic, make sure you have a catcher at the bottom. All right, that's a quick summary of plant vocabulary. Planting 101, healthy air at home with Corinne, y'all. See you later.